Hello everyone, this is Princess here, and for today's video, we are going to talk about Area 2 of the 6 Warrior Quest. So in this banner, everyone in here will be getting Force Enhancements, and then Eald'narche's Burst comes back, and then Eald'narche, Yuffie, and Gladio are getting level 90, Gladio I'm the most excited about, and the next character to get their Force and Burst is going to be for Yuri. So let's get started. So Yuri's force weapon is called the Muramasa, and this will grant the skill Sloga Bomb. His force partner is going to be Palom, and this also brings Chelinka out. So this will set all targets brave to 0 except for broken targets, and it deals a 6-hit AoE Holy Brave split HP attack dealt 3 times, and it has a 100% brave hit potency. So for the bonus, while Yuri's force time is active, it will grant Holy Enchant, and then for the bonus you get 10% at the start, 15% when HP regen occurs before the end of a turn, 2% when using a holy skill except for Yuri, and then 12% when Yuri uses a holy skill. And then for his burst weapon, we have the Ragnarok, which will grant the finishing burst Great Rainbow Ring. It's a 15-hit AoE Brave split HP attack with a 60% Brave potency. The effect is 6 turns, it lowers all enemies' hit rates, so they're just going to be missing the whole time, it raises the party's Brave and HP damage, and their Brave damage cap. And then at 2 out of 3, it will add a party Brave damage cap and a max Brave cap. And then for Eald'narche, at 2 out of 3, his burst effect will be extended to 10 turns. It adds a party HP damage boost by 5% per debuff on the target, with a max being 40%, and a party max brave cap boost by 3% per debuff on the target, with a maximum being 24. And with Eald'narche getting Burst Plus, this is now like, he's the last character to get Burst Plus, so at this point, the returning bursts aren't really going to be a thing until like much later on or on campaign banners. Okay, so for 6-man Area 2, the 2 bosses you're going to be fighting is going to be the Dullahan, which was from Arc 3, Chapter 2, the one that you could cheese if you had Yuffie, and the Zombie Whale, which was back in Arc 3, Chapter 3. So both of these bosses are immune to paralysis, and you cannot launch them. So let me just go over the details for the Zombie Whale first. Alright, so here's the Zombie Whale right over here. Same thing, you can't paralyze it, and you can't knock it back. So the whale doesn't have any like crazy or like gimmicky HP attacks, but he can convert any sort of HP healing you do into HP damage, kind of similar to what the parrots did in Transcendence Tier 2. This will be active from 79 to 59%, and then from 39 to 19%. Overall, that's all it's going to do. It doesn't have any sort of like anything dangerous, I should say. It is still going to have some pretty strong like brave HP attacks, so reductions can help, or evasion. As for the Dullahan though, so Dullahan can do a lot. He can constantly inflict ruin and paralysis. He can also delay you by 1 turn after you act, and if Dullahan breaks you, it will dispel a buff and you will be inflicted with a frame paralysis buff for 1 turn. There's also going to be an aura that saps HP while he's alive, and it also prevents Brave Battery. I said while he's alive, but sorry, I meant to say that this will be active from the start of the fight to 79%, and then from 59 to 39%. And then when he's at 49%, he will automatically inflict a frame paralysis, but you can easily bypass this if you've got debuff immunity. And then the very last thing is that from 79 to 59%, and then from 39 to 19%, Dullahan will counter any attacks that he gets with an AoE HP attack that will decrease the party's active buffs by 1 turn. So this can get pretty annoying, and honestly my best recommendation would be to just like rush it down before he can counter. So I would say kill Dullahan first and then the whale. So for the Force gauge, to weaken it, you want to use a Holy Magic Force, which is what Yuri can naturally do, or Sabin if you have him. And then for the Force gauge, so at 1 out of 5, he will lower your attack, defense, and speed by 30%, and then 2 out of 5, it increases to 50%. And then when the gauge is full, Dullahan will use Northern Cross for 2 turns, which will lower your ice resist and will also freeze the party until Dullahan's next turn. And then while the Force gauge is up, he gets 50. The Dullahan and Zombie Whale will get Ice Enchant during Force time. So with that being said, I'm going to head over to JP now, and I'm going to showcase Yuri's Force and Burst. I will be right back. Alright, so we are back on JP now. So this is the 6 Warrior Quest Area 2. So here is Sloga Bomb. Alright, so there's Palom and Chelenka. Alright, so I'm just going to skip ahead to... Well, actually, you know what? Let me just do this. And then we will go in with Yuri's burst. Well, his burst phase, just to show you the gauge going up. Alright, so let's start with his LD. And the thing to remember is when he has Force his Force time up, the party gets Force and Holy Enchant. Alright, so let's use his EX here. Alright, so let's use the last two. Here's S1. And then I'll use his Brave attack. Alright, so here is Great Rainbow Rain. You can see his weapons changing. So like he had his 35, his EX, and his LD. Alright, so now Force time, his burst effect is active. So I kind of want to do at least, I want the bosses to get at least a turn in so that, just to show off his, what is it, the evasion, or the hit rate down. So I'm just going to skip ahead from here. Alright, so it should happen right around here. It's right there if they didn't hit us. So from, like, the big thing to remember is that, oh, I turned away for a second, I forgot. So now, what I wanted to mention was that around at this point, this is where all of the healing gets negated into damage. So as you can see, everyone's got 1 HP left. So be careful with healing and when the counters start, and you should be totally fine. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if you will be pulling for Yuri or for Eald'narche, or if you're going to get Yuffie or Gladio to C90. And I will see you all next time.